Hey, Joe Gill here. Doing my first video. It's on Aruba. This is going to be fairly recent information. It is now the end of August, towards the end of August of 2016, and I just made this trip back in the middle of June of this year, 2016. So this is my most recent trip and all that. Yes, Aruba is owned by the Dutch, and they do have what they call their red light district, which is over on the north or the southwest side of the island. It's in a town called San Nicolas, and it covers over two streets, Von Zeppenstraat and Rembrandtstraat. You, however, will mostly be staying in the main tourist area, which is over by Palm Beach, Eagle Beach, because that's where all the major hotels are, the nightlife, the restaurants, the bars, and all the good stuff, and all that, and all that stuff. So, what is relevant, I said that I would talk about in my introduction video about lodging or transportation, if it's relevant. It's definitely relevant here. You have three choices. You can either take a bus, or rent a car. You can rent a car or get a taxi. Taxi would be your most expensive bet. You're looking at $60-70 round trip. Rent a car is about $40 a day. Taxi's too expensive, but if you want to pay it, I recommend it, especially if you're going to go at night, because the buses stop running at 12, and since San Nicolas is all the way out, I don't know what time the last bus is there. It could be early, and if you're there maybe past 9 or 10, you could between 9 and 10 you could get stuck. Renting a car, I wouldn't recommend that either, although that's not too bad. $40 a day, $35 a day for a rental car. However, the streets aren't very well signposted there, so you can kind of get lost. The bus, however, will cost you $8 round trip. It'll take you an hour or so to get there, because you got to do a transfer in the main city, the downtown city, or the capital, they call it, Oranjestad, basically where you're going to land. And so you got to go from Palm Beach to Oranjestad. They take you to the bus station, and then you got to veer off to the left and walk about a quarter mile, and then they line up all the buses down in front of like this liquor grocery store. Then you got to climb in there, and then sometimes you got to sit, and then you got to then you go from there all the way to San Nicolas. Tell the driver when you get to San Nicolas you want them to let you off at Charlie Bar. Charlie Bar, and it's worth a look. It's kind of like the little main touristy bar there. It's got a little bit of nostalgia to it. You can look it up online, it's there. But just tell me you want to get off right there, because right there, it's right on Von Zeppenstraat, because it's right there, and it's right at the start where, the girls kind of are. And then you go to the next horizontal block down, which is Rembrandtstraat, and the girls are kind of there too. These are like streets that are almost like short, narrow, little bit narrow streets that almost look like alleys, where the gals are. Now, the cost of the bus is going to cost you $8, $4 to get there and $4 back. And the way you get the bus back, once you're down in San Nicolas, you go all the way to the end of either Rembrandt or Zeppenstraat Street. There's a brick road with a long brick wall along it. You walk down there, there's a parking lot on your right, and that's where you catch the bus to go back. Then you go back to the capital, Oranjestad. Then you go walk back to the bus station, then you transfer over. It's going to run you $2. Now, you can take they have the big traditional city buses, which are $2.60, or they have these minivan, like these shuttle buses. Those are like only $2, like 10 passengers, like, typical vans and stuff. Anyway, as far as the girls, they're not too bad. They're all Colombian, by the way. I think they have some sort of tourist visa thing, or where they come over for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, and they work. And there is a bunch of go-go bars down there, like all along. There's a few. There's probably about maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 to 9 or 7 to 10, but they don't open until 7 p.m. at night. And that's why I don't recommend, going at night, because number one, you're going to pay more for the gals. The gals are going to cost more money. You're probably going to have to pay a bar fee. If you ride the bus and you want to take the bus back, you can get caught. You might get stuck. And, the bars don't open to 7. I'd recommend, around 9:30ish, no later than 10, you kind of go back and wait and try to catch a bus to get back so you won't be left out in the cold. And so the price is very reasonable. A lot better than when I was in Colombia. I went to Cartagena, but that's another video. It was only like $30 for 30 minutes. Anything goes. Girlfriend experience if you want it. Well, at least with the gal I was with, she was she was not too bad, decent looking. What else? Or 50 for an hour. That's what I did, and she was cool. She went more than an hour. So 30 or 50. Bargain them down if they try to charge more, or like if they try to charge 50 for 30. And the rules of bargaining I do is you always bargain down by 1/2. Like if like they only want to give you 30 minutes for $50, just say, look, I'll give you 30 for 30 or whatever. Also, if you know that if you're kind of quick on the trigger, you're kind of quick at popping, you might be able to negotiate this. You might be able to negotiate, like, if you don't, all you need is like 10 or 15 minutes. You can be that quick. You might be able to negotiate it down to like $20 for 10-15 minutes. And there you go. The vibe I got, that could have been a possibility. But all in all, I enjoyed myself. I was with the same girl 3 different times. It's a little bit of a pilgrimage. When you first do it, it's going to take you an hour and a half to get down there when you get used to it. Because, like I said, you got to walk a quarter mile once you're at the bus station, roughly. It's kind of a hassle, but you know what? It's kind of worth it. The girl I was with, I paid her for an hour, $50, and she went an hour and a half. She gave me the total girlfriend experience. All the lovey-dovey and kissing, caresses, and all that. Yeah, it was more like a realistic experience. It's not like she just laid on her back and then turned her head to the side, and which some of the women do, that if you pay them for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'll get to those types in other videos and all that. And other than that, like I said, they're Colombian. They're decent looking. I wouldn't say they're really top notch. They're not drop dead gorgeous, but they're decent. What can I say? You more or less get what you pay for. So, but like I said, I was only with one, but I kind of scouted around, asking around about others. But they're decent. All in all, though, I do recommend it. I had a good time. Like I said, it was a little bit of a pilgrimage to get there from the beach, the resort area, but it's worth it. Go do it. Go check it out. Take some notes. As usual, like or comment if you want. And if you're planning a trip, go. Like I said, go check it out. I do recommend it. Take care.